it's a cold one. 22 degrees this morning, a couple of days after that rainfall finished up. And the water did bump a little bit the other day when we were out here, and none of this was flooded in the video. And now it is flooded, but it's also iced over, which is kind of funny. So the pond did come up a few more inches, but we've got water on food. And that goes all the way up into here. You can see it where it's all frozen up, and the water is up into the rice too, which is great to see. In the previous update video, I was talking about how a lot of the Japanese millet and barnyard grass looks stripped, like the millet's all gone. But I knew this was the case. Once the water comes on it, that millet starts to float. It is all down beneath all this thatch and detritus. Those are all the little specks you see. So there is a tremendous amount of millet in here still, even though the stalks have long since been stripped off. We still got food in here. Getting a camera set up here, because now that we've got water on food, these ducks typically come in historically and land in this open water and then feed up into this barnyard grass and millet. I always like to put my camera facing this open water because that seems to be where the ducks like to land before they swim up here and feed. We'll give it about a week. We'll check this weekend's rainfall, come back out here, give you guys an update, and we'll check the camera. We're rolling out there to the farm pond. Just got a call from the landowner. He said, Mr. Moore, your pipe is roaring water and that pond is coming up fast. And problem is, I've got a $150 Moultrie camera that only sits about 2 feet off the water watching that deep pool down there. So I'm hopefully not too late. It's already got 2.5 inches out there on the gauge, and we're gonna go see if we can save that camera before it floods. Go check it out. Getting a little nervous. All the ditches are just flooded out, and I've seen multiple farm ponds over here that are overflowing the banks. I might be too late, but we'll find out here in just a second. I cannot tell you how happy this makes me. 2 days before duck season comes in, and we got water roaring into the farm pond here. The entire pond is now flooded. All the rice, all the millet, everything. Man, this is just dynamite. And I would say our pipe is working just fine. That is awesome. It's not washing out, it's not soil piping through it. I think we've got good compaction. Pipe is doing exactly what we need it to. And this is what I was talking about before. So before this pipe was in here, you can see how high the water would have had to get over this berm here. Even with all this rain, we still would not have water in the pond except for what fell from the heavens because this berm is so high. So you really have to have those big events. Now that we've added this pipe in here, well, it's obvious. All the water funnels into that pipe first. Whatever doesn't go into the pipe will bypass. This is exactly what the design intent was. Water comes down here, flows into the pipe, goes into the pond, and if it gets too high, it jumps that little elevation berm we put in there and bypasses the whole pond. And I cannot believe I'm saying this, but after 2 years of begging for rain to fill this pond, one rain event after putting the pipe in has filled this pond up perfect. So I'm actually gonna cap this pipe off to prevent any more water from coming in here because we don't want all this food too deep under the water. You take and put rice and millet 4 feet underwater, well, the ducks can't get to them, so that's pointless. So I'm gonna see if I can come up with a way to cap this pipe on the upper end, but I'm gonna go see if I can find something in my truck. I did not anticipate having to bypass this pipe today, but I will take it. That's a good problem to have. That 15-inch pipe is over halfway full. That's a lot of water coming in here. You can see how it funnels off of this big hillside back here. You wouldn't think with this much vegetation you'd get that much runoff, but it is a big watershed. Let me go save that camera real quick, and then we'll see if we can come up with a way to temporarily kind of slow down the flow through that pipe. What I don't know is if my rubber boots are gonna work. Water's looking pretty deep out there, but I do have waders with me. Look at all the seed. That is all millet and barnyard grass. All that floating. That is incredible. That is all seed. It's been laying down there beneath that millet and all that thatch. Yeah, millet, smartweed, everything. All that hard work finally coming to fruition. I was afraid of that. I'm gonna have to go put waders on. 1 more foot of water, that camera was toast. I'm so glad we came out here tonight. There we go, that's a lot better. Woo, that wind is howling. My wife was like, are you sure you want to go out there? I'm like, yeah, kind of a nerd for it. I just couldn't stand the thought of that camera getting ruined, but we live for this stuff. Nasty, raw, wet days, raining. Gotta love it. There we go. Oh yeah, that was never gonna happen in boots. Just in the nick of time. About 8-10 more inches and that was gonna be toast. And I did not bring anything to cut with, but I'm just gonna pull the whole thing out here. Turn that off, huh? Alrighty. I think I am gonna mount the camera back up here on this wood duck box, plenty high above where it would be in any danger. I cannot believe this, but this actually might work. It's the trash we pulled out of that pond, and I'm thinking I might can jam that in that hole with that pipe. No idea if this is gonna work, but let's give it a shot here. I did not plan on having to cap this pipe. Careful what you ask for, right? Oh my gosh, it worked. It sucked that thing in there perfect. That is awesome. Poor man's plug right there. Now let's see if it stopped all the flow or most of the flow. Stopped most of the flow. Actually perfect, I bet. That way we still bring the pond up just a little bit for these flanks out here. But by the time this storm moves out, I don't think that little bit of water right there is gonna be too much. That accidentally worked perfect. If there's rain on the lens, I apologize, but this works perfect. There was a lot of pressure on that. Look at that. And then if I want to cap it, boop, sucks right on there. That's gonna do just fine for now. I'm gonna go get this camera rigged up here, but I'm out of filming lights. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up real quick. We're sitting good. I'm happy. We've got a lot of food in here. We got water on food, 2 days to duck season. Fingers crossed the ducks will find it this year and we'll get a hunt. Until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. God bless. Take care.